I'm certified by the Supreme Court of New Jersey, who recognizes that as a criminal defense attorney, I am an expert in this area of law.
Host Melissa Rosenblum is one of only a few women certified by the Supreme Court of New Jersey as a criminal trial attorney. When you add kids, a booming law business, and a little black book full of subject matter experts, you've got the Mighty Merp podcast. And part 2 in this series.
I can't imagine having my business without having, the website that I have and the advertising that I have. So it is interesting that that's probably what you're saying is the hardest hurdle.
Yeah, and there's exceptions to the rules, but they're few and far between. And I also think that those people they're older, they're starting to, they're facing retirement now. Any new young attorney who's starting up their own practice, or they're leaving a larger firm and they're starting up their own, the first thing they really have to look at is how much are they going to invest into their business? How much are they going to invest into their marketing budget? And how are they going to build themselves out online?
So after you talk to someone and the person is committed and agrees that the marketing and the branding, or the advertising and the branding, which are the two, what you're saying, the two things that need to be occurring at the same time, how do you figure out the website? Are they providing you ideas? Are you providing them ideas? Or are they saying, I have this crazy idea, what do you think? How does the website design come into play?
So this is where I am able to, put my creative hat on. So as I'm getting to know that person, their why they do what they do, why are they the person that they are. And I have gone down rabbit holes before, and I have gone into childhood traumas. But all of those things, I can put together in my mind a brand for that individual. And we all kind of have that idea of the bulldog attorney, the pit bull in the courtroom. That's one way of doing it. The boxer theme is another way. But Melissa, for you, you are pink. That is who you are. That is your brand. That is your image. That's what people are going to know about you as soon as they step foot in that room with you. You have that energy that just screams pink.
That's right? So funny. My goal is always I want people to see pink and just say, yep, Melissa. And I have a very good friend who's a lawyer who was in a store shopping with her daughter, her 17-year-old daughter, and they walked by a suit jacket that was pink, and her daughter said, that's a Melissa jacket. And I was like, it's working.
Well, and it's not just how you dress or the lipstick that you wear. It's your aura. It's how you hold yourself. And there's color theory is a whole different conversation, but there's something to that. And for me, once I get to know that person, who they are, what they do, why they do it, I can then create something in my mind and then spin it back to them and be like, hey, does this make sense for you? And we're going to create something visually around that.
Yeah, I have to tell you, committing to the pink as a criminal defense attorney, when I did it, was a big jump. And it was a big kind of investment into being authentic, which is a word I use often when it comes to advertising. Meeting with clients, building a trust with people is that authenticity. But, I am a woman defense attorney in a very male-dominated field. And if you look at most of their websites, it's all blues and grays and blacks. I think the brightest color might be an orange or red, but it's very, I'll say, what people would identify as traditionally male, strong colors. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
And when I started designing initially my website and looking at logos and deciding what to do, I kept coming back to the pink that I picked. And I had to sort of take a deep breath and have faith in what I was creating, because I think it's fair to say that when I did it at the time, there's no other logos and no other brand that was similar. I think it's changing a little, but I think that it is very unusual for a law firm to pick pick that bright pink. And I describe it as a powerful pink. It is not a baby pink. It is a powerful dark pink, but yeah.
And I think you're a fantastic example of that person who took that leap of faith into authenticity, and it's showing in your business. And that is engaging with people on levels that blue, black, and just traditional can't. And that's leading to more clients. That's leading to more successful business. And I think that's why we're having this conversation today.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that when we met, I already had the pink when we met because my business was already, sort of established. It was not established, but it was already being built. And I will say that your enthusiasm of embracing it was, whenever I had doubts and you were like, absolutely not, this is great. It encouraged me to move forward on it, and to have the confidence that, this was the right direction of the firm.
Well, and I think from my experience, women attorneys really struggle with that authenticity. And should I be myself? Can I really bring this side of me out? Or do I have to be that, the suit and tie lawyer like most others? Because they're trying to fit into a male-dominated field. And I've used you as examples and a few other attorneys as examples of women who have not just entered the market, but have built out a really strong presence and a great reputation by being authentic.
Right. Well, you've said that you've had women say, I wanted to use these colors, but I decided not to because, I didn't think it would be professional, right?
Oh, I have a great example. I have a woman who she wanted to use her sorority colors. They were pink and green. And when she built out her brand and her practice, she ended up getting rid of it was a very bright pink. She ended up getting rid of the pink and ended up going with a very dark green. And she ran with that for years. And for years, she really didn't get anything out of her advertising strategy. And when she came over, I had shown her your site to show her that the power pink works. And we immediately, created this site that was extremely pink. There's a lot of gold in it. And there is that little bit of green to pay homage to her sorority because it is a big part of her life. And she is now converting a significant amount more business from the internet. And it's really just because who she is now who consumers are seeing online.
Mm-hmm. I'm processing everything you're saying and thinking it's amazing how some small changes, and it really does come back to, hiring a lawyer. And I would say especially a criminal lawyer is very personal. You have somebody's life in your hand, their freedom in your hands. And so, I always say, I can't be someone I'm not, you're going to get me in the end. My personality is always going to shine through. And that's what I've tried to do with the marketing and advertising component of it. I think to the point that sometimes people just laugh at me now when they see me because, I'm always in pink now. I've just totally embraced it. So after somebody has the website up and running or their marketing or their advertising, what do you offer after that, or what do you do?
So at that point, it turns to consultating or a consultative approach, or a marketing consultant, a business consultant. One of the things, and you actually hit on it earlier, is that within the legal community, there are a lot of attorneys, but there are not as many business owners. And I try to take what I learned from everyone and bring it to other clients and share that information and encourage them to look at their practice more as a business, help them understand their numbers, their conversion rates, their average client, what a client looks like over the length of their period working with them. Understanding those numbers and understanding really how to run a successful business allows you to grow and hire associates and hire staff. But when you don't have that understanding of where you stand within the market and all of the numbers that go into that, it's really tough to then grow or to make good decisions and to make decisions when to grow.
Oh, yeah. As you're saying, like when to grow and make those decisions, those are hard decisions. Those are hard decisions of knowing when you can, expand your business, hire associates, hire more staff. And so the idea that you are providing that as well, especially again for lawyers who are not necessarily business owners. And I say it's funny because it's not just lawyers. We go to law school to learn how to be lawyers, but not business owners. It's the same with doctors and dentists, and we know our trade, but we don't always know the business end of it.
Absolutely. And that's not to say that there aren't attorneys out there that have run very, very successful practices that don't have that business mindset. But I would challenge anyone who's starting up their own business now, really make sure that you're taking time to focus on the business and not just the practice of law. And if you can do both and you can really challenge yourself to go outside your comfort zone, find a business mentor, run ideas by them, join an organization or a club where you can meet other businesses outside of the legal community. That's how you're going to grow, not just as an attorney, but as an individual and as a business owner. And that's where you're going to really take off.
Thank you for listening in. Stay tuned for the next part in this conversation. Mighty Merp is a production of the Law Office of Melissa Rosenblum and the Niche Podcast Network. Mighty Merp is available on iTunes, Spotify, and all your favorite apps and players. But the best way to experience the show is to visit mightymerp.com. That's mightymerp.com.